the way actually what you see and what you hear, that you are able to understand much better. So the topic that we are going to discuss today is about who is the real Buddhist. Actually, I don't think I have to explain the whole thing, but maybe good for young people, new people. I see all quite very experienced and practitioners and very devout Buddhists, but still it is good to remember there are some important facts. And another thing that we can be Buddhist, good Buddhists in different ways, practicing in different ways and practicing in different aspects. Let me go through some of important details which relate to our topic. The picture that you show, the first page, I think most of you remember these two merchants, right? Tapaswe Baluka is three merchants, so offering honey bowl to the Buddha. Yeah? And they became first devotees, but they received refuge only Buddha Dhamma. At that time, no Sangha. So these two merchants, they went for refuge, Buddha Saranam Gacchami, Dhamma Saranam. That's it. Not Sangha. So it is historical value of that two merchants. But the word Buddha came from knowledge. Buddha, it came from Buddha, knowledge. It means Bodhi. We call Bodhi, the Bodhi tree, the place, the tree, that he received knowledge, not from the tree, but he sat under the tree. While he was sitting under the tree, he became enlightened. So before that tree called different name. In Sinhala we call it Asaku tree, and I don't know what is the English name for that. But after he became enlightened, we call it Bodhi tree. Bodhi means knowledge. So we can look at it, the meaning of Bodhi, in different aspects. The Bodhi means that realization of Four Noble Truth, and also whoever attained ultimate same truth. So we call Bodhi, not receiving complete knowledge. Bodhi, knowledge. So I don't think that we need to go through about Four Noble Truth, because you already know Dukkha Samudaya Nirodha Marga, suffering, cause of arising suffering and cessation, and way leading to attain nirvana. Is called Four Noble Truth. And the first stage is called Sotapanna. Sovan, Sotapanna. It means stream entered. So when we looking at the meaning of stream entered, I think it is very clear, you can see. The first stage is that of Sotapanna. It has Pali term and Sanskrit term. Literally meaning one who enters the stream, Sota. The stream being the noble eightfold path regarded as the highest Dhamma. The stream enterer is also said to have opened the eye of Dhamma, Dhamma Chakku. A stream enterer is guaranteed enlightenment after no more than 7 successive births. So that's the significance of first stage. And possibly in future, the stream enterer can also be sure that he will not be reborn in any of the unhappy state of rebirths, animal and hell, so forth. So he can only be reborn as a human being or in heaven. The stream enterer has attained an intuitive grasp of Buddhist doctrine, has complete confidence, Saddha, in the 3 jewels of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and has good moral behavior. So we get some point here. In order to follow and practice of even first stage, we need to have Saddha towards Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. As we mentioned last time, without Saddha, there is no way to practice Buddhism. But before that, you need to go for 3 refuge. So we come to later that section. 3 refuge. Buddhan Saranam Gaccham, Dhamma Saranam Gaccham, Sangha Saranam Gaccham. So these 3 refuge are the refuge that we first we follow in order to enter into the Buddhism as a following, as a Buddhist person, Buddhist lay people. And after that, observing precepts. Not only one time I go to Buddha Saranam Gaccham, Dhamma Saranam Gaccham, make sure that we are saying 2nd time, 3rd time. That's why we say 2nd time, 2tiyam, 3rd time, 4tiyam. I go to the Buddha for refuge. I go to Dhamma for refuge. I go to the Sangha for refuge. That's what happened in the first merchants that who met the Buddha. They went for refuge, Buddha and Dhamma. Because no Sangha existed at the time. I put these details, I think it is important for quickly go through. Once returned, the second stage is that of the Saktagrada. Saktagrada, literally meaning one who once comes, once returned, will return to the human world only one more time and will attain nirvana in that life. The first one, Sotapanna, 7 times, right? 7 times he will come with birth. But if he complete first stage, then he comes to second, Saktagrada. So we call once returned. Anagami, no return. First one, you have 7 times. Second stage, one return. You come to birth only one time. Once you become in the second stage. Third stage, anagami. Anagami means never come back. Not return. Gami means going, coming. Anagami means not return. So the third stage is that of anagami. Literal meaning, one who does not come. The non-returner does not come back into human existence or any lower world after that. Instead, he is reborn in one of the world of the Rupadhatu, called the Suddhavasa worlds, or pure abodes, where he will attain the one, Pali, Nibbana. Some of them are born a second time in a higher world of pure abodes, but in no case are born into the lower stage. And anagami has abandoned the five lower letters that bind the mind to the cycle of the world. Anagami is thus partially enlightened and the way to perfect and complete enlightenment. The last one is arahat. The fourth stage is that of arahat, a fully enlightened human being who has abandoned all letters and who, upon disease, will not be reborn in any world, having wholly abandoned samsara. So that's very briefly looking at the stages. So having knowledge of these stages, receiving of these stages, we call Buddha. So Lord Buddha, he already has all this. The Buddha, as again, enlightened one stage and realizing of all world growth. Now let us look at these two terms here. Samma Sambuddha and Samma Sambuddha. When we read what? Qualities of the Buddha. Itiso Bhagavarahan Samma Sambuddha. Vidyajana Sampada Soha. So sometimes we call Sambuddha. Sometimes we call Samma Sambuddha. So here, Sambuddha means self-realization. Samma Sambuddha means extremely dedicated to complete of Dasaparami, 10 perfection. That means that extremely, eons and eons, is trying to be a Buddha without anyone's help, without anyone's support, without following anyone's teaching. So his self-realization of the knowledge, Buddhahood, becoming enlightened, we call Samma Sambuddho. Samma Sambuddho. Sambuddha is just simply self-realization, but Samma Sambuddha, we use the word Samma Sambuddha because he's total, eons and eons, kappa, eons to spend, sara santa kappa. That he used and practiced as a bodhisattva in many different lives that he is spending in order to become fully enlightened Buddha. Have you heard another Buddha named Pacceka Buddha? Right? What is Pacceka Buddha? Yeah, he's Buddha but not fully enlightened, right? not Samma Sambuddha. What's the problem Pacceka Buddha has? He's unable to preach. He's Buddha in one side, Pacceka in one side, not completely, not wholly. Pacceka. And also, of course, Arahant Buddha, that will become enlightened. But it's not that Samma Sambuddha. The difference of Samma Sambuddha means self-realization and intention to be a Buddha, practicing many years and years, as coming to world in different character, different person, and following perfection. Dana, Sila, Dana Parani, Sila Parani, Nekama Parani, Upekka Parani, and so forth. So following all these paramis, perfection, become Samma Sambuddha. So who is our Gautama Buddha? Is a Pacceka Buddha or Samma Sambuddha, right? So we are expecting to Samma Sambuddha. Gautama Buddha is Samma Sambuddha. Okay, now, when we want to become a good Buddhist person, first thing that you need to do is go for refuge. I go to Buddha for refuge, I go to Dhamma for refuge, I go to Sangha for refuge. As I mentioned earlier. And then precepts, 5 precepts. I don't think we have to go through those things. And this is the first Buddhist disciples. You see that merchants having carts behind. Okay. 2 refugees. Tapassu Baluka followed only Buddha Dhamma. These 2 merchants, because at that time no Sangha members exist. Okay, now let us get some knowledge of his first disciples. His first disciples were the merchants, Tapassu and Ballika. During the 4th week, the Buddha was saying at Google, Tapassu and Ballika happened to pass the outskirts of the village. And so the Buddha quietly meditated there. Impressed his serene looks and aura of peace around him, they approached him of barley work and unvoice. When the Buddha had finished eating 2 merchants asked if they could take refuge in him, his Dhamma. They did not take refuge in Sangha because it had not yet been established yet. Now, this is a sutra introduction about to be a Buddhist, how to become a Buddhist person. So we are still looking at the Buddhist person and how to become a Buddhist person. In order to be a real Buddhist is another story, right? Whatever you know and if you are practicing it, then you become a real Buddhist. But this particular sutra, I don't know whether you have a chance to read this sutra. This is called Mahanama Sutra. It is in Anguttara Nikaya, Attaka Nipata. Attaka Nipata, Mahanama Sutra. It's called Gahapati Vata. Gahapati means, Gurupati means that householder, the section of householder. For householders, this section is very important. It gives some information how to be a good householder, how to be a lay person, householder. So the Mahanama is actually Sakya plant, and he is relative of the Buddha, Mahanama Sakya. At one time, the Blessed One was living in the Sakya in Nigrodha's monastery in Kapilavatthu. The Sakya Mahanama approached the Blessed One. Worship sat on the side and said to the Blessed One, "Venerable Sir, how does one become lay disciple?" That's the question. Mahanama, when he takes refuge in the enlightenment, in the teachings and the community of Bhikkhus, with this much he becomes a lay disciple. It is very clear. So this is talking Buddha. In order to become a lay disciple, Buddha said, you need to follow Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. If you follow only Buddha and Dhamma, so you are not totally become a lay disciple. If you don't like Sangha members, if you just say Buddha, Sangha, Dhamma, Sangha, that means you are not following as a lay disciple. You know, it must be complete. So Buddha, Sangha, Dhamma, Sangha, action. So now we know the way to become a lay disciple. Okay, now second question. Venerable Sir, how does the lay disciple become a virtuous person? Sila. Mahanama, when the lay disciple abstain from destroying living things, taking not given, this is actually precepts, and from telling lies, from taking intoxicated fruit drinks, this much he becomes virtuous. So, if someone wants to become a virtuous person, it is very simple, right? Only 5 things. 5 things to follow. But most difficult. But only 5 things. Venerable Sir, how does lay disciple follow the method of his own good and not the good for others? This is something that is pointed out. So our own good, not for others. It means that we are not helping others, but selfishly ourselves, we try to purify, we try to observe precept, we try to go more actively, we try to become virtuous, but not others. So, Buddha is explaining, Mahanama, when the noble disciple himself is endowed with faith, does not incite others to be endowed with faith himself, endowed with virtuous, does not incite others to be endowed with virtuous. So, if you become virtuous, but if you don't let others to do it or follow it, for example, like if you become a Silavan, virtuous person, but you don't take your friends, right? So one hand is okay, but you are already following it, but you are not encouraging someone to become virtuous. You are not telling someone to become virtuous. So only yourself, just like you are eating yourself, not giving to somebody else. It's kind of selfishness. But it's not bad, right? At least you are doing it by yourself. It's not bad. But here Buddha is explaining, according to the question that Mahanama asks, So, what he needs? Faith, right? Saddha. When the noble disciple himself is endowed with faith, does not incite others to be endowed with faith himself. Endowed with virtues does not incite others to be endowed with virtues himself. Benevolent does not incite others to be benevolent. Himself desires to see bhikkhus, does incite others to see bhikkhus. Himself desires to hear the good teachings, does not incite others to hear the good teaching. Himself does the teaching he had and heard, does not incite others to bear the teachings they have heard. Himself searches meaning in the teachings he had heard, does not incite others to find meaning in the teaching they have heard. Himself knowing the meaning and the teaching lives according to the teachings, does not incite others to know meaning in the teaching and to live according to the teaching. Mahanava, the lay disciple, falls to the method of his own good and not good for others. So it is good for you all, right? Not good for others. You don't have a faith. I mean, you have the faith, but you don't encourage someone to have faith. You are following precepts, you are a virtuous person, but you are not encouraging others. You are not taking, you are not calling to become virtuous. And you are alone, you go to see monks, but you don't take others to see monks. And you are holding Dhamma, you are following the Dhamma, but you are not encouraging others to follow the Dhamma. You are learning the Dhamma, you are hearing the Dhamma, but you are not helping others to hear the Dhamma, follow the Dhamma. It is good in one side, but not fully. Buddha explaining to Mahanama. Now, Buddha is explaining how it becomes both into good. See the point here. Wherever said, how does the lay disciple follow the method of his own good and the good of others? Mahana, the noble disciple himself, is endowed with faith and incites others to be endowed with faith himself, endowed with virtues, incite others to be endowed with virtues. You see the same thing? But he is helping, he is taking, he is teaching, he is showing others. He is seeing himself, the monks, he is hearing himself, the Dhamma, and he is wearing the Dhamma, he is following the Dhamma, he is remembering the Dhamma, and also at the same time, he is helping others to do the same thing. See how compassionate, right? And what we call it? Dhammadana. Dhammadana. That if you help someone to learn Dhamma, follow the Dhamma, even call and take him to the temple, ask them to come, encourage them to come. Some people are working so hard to do it. They cook foods, and prepare and keep calling, please come, we have nice food today. They want to encourage to come. They want to bring them, they want to show them something special and just to bring them together. It is sometimes very hard, some people are working so hard to bring them together to the temple. But how nice it is, right? But we don't have to go for food, no? If we do have faith, if you are a real Buddhist person, we don't have to wait for God. In order to go to a temple, you don't have to call and make an appointment. The temple doors always open, but for security reason it's closed. But still, whoever wants to come, temple doors are open. So temples welcome everyone who wants to come. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you are rich, poor, higher, lower, it doesn't matter. We don't consider those things. One day, an Indian Kerala person came to me. Once when he was entering, he said, "I'm Brahmin." He said, "I'm Brahmin." I told him, I don't care. Temple for everyone. You will be Brahmin, you are lower caste, whatever people say. That's what people make those things. Not really that, really that people are not born such way. No one created such way. Be born as a human being, doesn't matter. You are upper country, lower country, you are high caste, low caste, professions, doesn't matter. Human beings are same. So we need to consider such way always. We need to be compassionate. We need to welcome everyone. We don't have to look at it, oh, you are a rich person, welcome. You are poor people, I close the door. That's not the way, right? So we need to welcome everyone because they are looking for some inner happiness and calmness. And at the time of refusing him, that means that you are really kind of very bad influence, and it affects the person, and he becomes more cruel sometimes, and he's having more mentally suffering because he's seeking some help, but he's unable to get it because of poverty or any other problems, or because of your clan, caste, so you are able to get it. But the Buddha rejected all this. He said, he said that there are rivers in India. You remember Ganga and Achiravati, right? Mahi. All these rivers, the water of these rivers comes to ocean, fill the ocean. Then the ocean water becomes one taste of salt. Similarly, Buddha said, whichever direction you are coming from, once you enter into Buddhist path, going for refuge, observing precepts, if you become a Buddhist person, you are feeling same taste of happiness, calmness, compassion, equanimity, joy, and nirvana. This is the only taste that you are having. Nothing else. In Paharada Sutra, he mentioned that the taste of salt is similar to a taste of Nibbana, taste of Buddha Dhamma. So coming from any direction, it doesn't matter. You are coming to same place of another, the Buddha that spreading compassion, love, that you can feel, everyone needs to feel similarly. Because of you are rich, you feel better. Because of you are poor, you feel differently. That is not the point in Buddhism. So, as a Buddhist person, we all need to consider we all are either upasaka, upasika, monks, nuns. It's just like a legs of the table or the chair. These four need to be together, equal, even. If the one leg is shorter, the chair is not stable. The table is not stable, right? So, similarly, Buddhism is not stable. The lay people are not following rightly. The monks are not following rightly. The nuns are not following rightly. Lay upasaka, upasika, and monks and nuns. They are not doing rightly. So Buddhism is, is having different shape, different looks.